The 90s, the world's most revolutionary time period that changed the way we communicate with our world. With personal computers, cell phones, and the internet right at our fingertips.
In the country, there are millions of people who are being intimidated now by their VCRs, by their answering machines, by computers. We're turning into a world of techno-dose.
Because the new devices were easily accessible to the public, having the newest technology became the latest craze of the generation.
It's a cross between a beeper and a car phone.
Hij presenteert iMode. E-mailen.
Having the internet in our home has had a great impact on our lives. Rich keeps up with the stock market and our investments, and I'm able to pay the bills in half the time it used to take me.
As popularity for these electronics grew, companies like Sony, Apple, Dell, and IMB needed certain minerals to power them. Tantalum, tungsten, tin, copper, and gold. These were the resources that every technology company could not get their hands off of. The tantalum found in computers, beepers, and cell phones prevented the metals from corroding. The coltan allowed the easy flow of electric current within the circuit board. Tungsten allowed cell phones to vibrate, tin soldered the electronic circuit board, and gold was used as a conductor. But there was one flaw in this multi-million-dollar industry. The minerals needed to make the electronics were rare and extremely expensive to mine and develop. This was not good for business. Where would these companies find the minerals they needed at such large quantities? Simple. They would go where Western countries had been extracting resources for hundreds of years, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Let's go back to 1885, during the Berlin West African Conference. Leopold II of Belgium had been granted control of the country under his creation of the International African Society, which he claimed was used to introduce Christianity and civilize the people of Congo. King Leopold's claim of using his organization to help the people of Congo was in reality a scheme to receive funds from other European nations. He then used the money to force the Congolese people into harsh mining conditions to extract rubber, gold, copper, and other valuable minerals for Belgium and other European nations. The mining industry under Leopold's control was so brutal that 15 million people in the country died from disease, exhaustion, physical abuse, and starvation. The workers who mined were also savagely beaten, mutilated, and slaughtered in their line of work. What caused such greed that led to the death of millions? The revolutionary mechanical technology of the 1800s, the bicycle. The large demand for the rubber in the bicycle tires led for King Leopold's enforcement of mining rubber in the Congo. In 1960, Congo gained independence, and it seemed as though the country was finally free from the West using their minerals. This led to the rise of leaders like Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba, who was dedicated to changing the way the Congo traded with Europe and North America. But Western nations did not want the way they received their minerals to change, especially since the Cold War had broken out, and the creation of nuclear weapons from resources was crucial to stay on top of other European nations. To silence any plans of the Congo regulating its minerals, the United States and Belgium assassinated Patrice Lumumba on January 17, 1961.
Une date illustre que vous garderez ineffaçablement gravée dans vos cœurs.
The president of the Congo, Mobutu Sese Seko, continued to let Europe and North America control the mineral trade. He then became extremely wealthy, having a network of over $5 billion. He gained this wealth through pocketing the majority of the money through the mining industry, leaving the Congo in debt by $10 billion in 1990. When President Mobutu was forcefully removed from the government, his title was taken over by the military leader of the country, Laurent Desire Kabila. During President Kabila's term in office, he was responsible for the killing and forceful removal of thousands of Rwandan refugees and tried to expand the Congo into an even larger country. These decisions led the First and Second Congolese War to break out in the country. The economic and political decline of the Congo was seen as a perfect opportunity for electronic companies to extract the minerals they needed. This is because countries with poor environmental and human rights records make the process of mining minerals much cheaper, as health conditions and salaries of workers are not considered within the country. President Kaliba and companies including Apple, Samsung, Tesla, and Microsoft benefited greatly from the two wars. The companies were able to receive their minerals at cheap prices. The president received most of the money gained within the mineral trade, and small militias traded minerals for weapons. The citizens of the Congo suffered greatly, as over 5.4 million people died from poor mining conditions and war casualties. Because the rights of minors were not considered within the country, the government allowed children as young as 4 years old to work in dangerous and unsanitary conditions for little pay. The worst two mining districts in the Congo were Kiva and Katanga. Another horrible outcome from the corruption in the country is that mineral-rich areas became controlled by small militias who traded the minerals for money, guns, and drugs. Children as young as 8 years old were enlisted in these militias and were called kidogos, which in Swahili means young child. These children became vicious soldiers who were mentally and physically abused and were forced to kill, vandalize, and abuse the people who worked in the mines.
Niko na miaka 12. Niko jeshi. Niliingia mkijeshi juu ya kukomboa nchi na kukomboa wananchi wote.
Depuis 1996 kama gesi mnajua, guerre ilianza kwetu, batoto mingi walikuwa concernés par ile ma conflits armés. Bengi walikutwaliwa mungambo ya kijeshi. Ensemble ya population kwetu, au moins 60% ni population ko jeune. C'est une manne facile yenye banaza kamata pale na banatia mwili wa bande armée na kwanza kubautiliser. Ba combattant armé notamment que ça soit ba Maïmaï, que ça soit ba RCD Goma, que ça soit ma force étrangère.
The war within Congo finally ended in 2001 when President Kabila was assassinated by his own child soldier, and a ceasefire was organized between African diplomats and the United Nations to help piece the country back together. Even as the war seemed to end in the Congo, the minerals needed to power the electronics in Europe, America, and China were still in high demand, as these devices became more intricate and needed more minerals to function. The companies that were responsible for the outbreak of the war in Congo have slowly begun to change by refusing to buy minerals that come from inhumane conditions. When the companies began to be exposed for their corrupt deals of trading money and weapons for minerals, the world was outraged to realize that their devices were powered through the blood of thousands of Congolese people. The harsh mining of minerals for the benefit of Western nations seems to be a repeat of history throughout the Congo. If influential electronic companies today were able to uphold the conditions of the people, maybe the Congo would finally be able to benefit from their years of hard labor. The 90s. For some it was known as a revolutionary period where technology changed the way we communicate with our world forever. For others, it was a time filled with war, inhumanity, and suffering. The benefits that the society gained from technology would never be able to outweigh the horrible pain the Congo endured.